Hello everyone, I am Professor Dr. Muhammad Usman Khan. I am a professor and chairman of Computer Science Department at UET Lahore. University of Engineering and Technology, UET, is one of the oldest and premier engineering institute of Pakistan. And I am blessed to have or working as the chairman of Computer Science Department, which is the biggest department of UET at the moment. I am excited to announce that we have recently launched a Generative AI Bootcamp plan here at UET. As you are aware that we have been watching different revolutions or industrial revolutions. I would say that we have witnessed three very big giants in recent past. I would say first giant was internet, second one was the mobile technology, and the third and the biggest of all of these is generative AI. Now, what is the bootcamp and what is the purpose of this bootcamp? So, a Pakistani big company, international company, Zever, gave the idea of generative AI bootcamp for healthcare practitioners, and we were lucky enough to get going from Zever, Pakistan, to have a planning of this bootcamp at our own premises. So we have shortlisted around 40 students out of 200 participants for this generative AI bootcamp. Idea is very simple, that we will be working on different technologies and tools of generative AI, starting from very simple natural image processing problems, then moving to private large language models, public large language models, and then deployment of these large language models on local and private machines. We will go through different variations or different parts of these language models, such as Retrieval, augmented generation, quantization, and then working on these models on cloud platforms. So what is different here? So I would say that this is a very good mixture of academia and industry. So from academia, UET is taking part as a participant, and from industry, Zever is controlling all the strengths. So by this industry academia collaboration, we will be training around 40 UET students, and then there are 10 medical students who are helping these 40 UET students to generate different medical related projects. So this combination of medical and engineering students, it will be a very killing combination, and we will be developing very good projects. So this is just a start of the journey. So we are targeting that once these 40 or 50 students get trained, we will be launching this for the masses, and our target will be like training millions of Pakistani youth, which is looking forward to government and industry for these training initiatives.
This is Dr. Waqar Mahmood, Director of Al-Khwarizmi Institute of Computer Sciences, University of Engineering and Technology, Lahore, Pakistan. Al-Khwarizmi Institute of Computer Sciences, also known as KICS, is one of the largest ICT research center in the country, and UT Lahore is one of the oldest and most prestigious engineering universities of the country. The institute and the university has been collaborating with the industry in the past, and more recently, we are collaborating with Zever Corporation. We are excited about this cooperation as we are setting up a boot camp for the students of University of Engineering and Technology, Lahore in the area of generative AI. In this boot camp, not only the students of UET, but also some medical related students are taking part. This is the technology of the future. It has the potential to revolutionize various industries. Almost all vertical will be affected by this technology in the future. And this skill set and the kind of technology that the students will learn are going to be in the highest demand in the future. So we are very excited, and we are looking forward to a successful completion of this program with the help of the faculty from the Computer Science and Engineering Department of UET Lahore, and also from the experts from the Zever Corporation. This is an excellent program, and we wish the best for the students.
Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Farhan. I am really machine learning engineer here at Zever. So I welcome you all to the opening ceremony of Generative AI Bootcamp 2024. So today in the agenda, we will be starting with a welcome address by Mr. Alberti, who is VP at Zever. Following that, we would be having a talk by Dr. Humayun, who's our CEO, regarding why AI matters in healthcare. Then we would be giving a demo of our Care Companion robot. Then we have some videos by healthcare expert about our previous bootcamp, what to expect in the newer version of the bootcamp. And finally, we would have some course content and evaluation criteria for the students, and then lunch work followed by lunch and networking. So we will be starting with the science part. Hello, hi everyone. First of all, congratulations to you all for making it. And just a bit about Xavier, we've been in business in IT services consulting and development for almost 30 years now, and we've been a mainstay of the IT industry in Pakistan for all this time. We hired a lot of graduates from UBT, FAST, other Indian universities. So this initiative was started, earlier this, it was end last year. Basically, the idea was to take fresh talent in Pakistan and help them prepare for jobs of tomorrow. And this initiative is completely funded by Zebra ourselves. And the idea is that we want to provide the youth of this country with an opportunity to, prepare themselves to be ready for the jobs of the future. That's why we focus on healthcare as well, because these are the two biggest industries where Pakistanis also thrive, and globally it's going to have the most amount of demand, AI and at the intersection of healthcare. And the idea is that they become productive members of society and start contributing to the development of Pakistan. Hopefully, at the end of this, you'll find value in this. And then after that, after the first bootcamp round, we'll go over the outcomes of that. We already have people with us already working from that bootcamp. And other people are working in other industries and other are finishing up their studies, but they found it very valuable. And then by the end of it, you guys will be certified Microsoft AI engineers as well. So good luck, congratulations, and hopefully you find this a very fulfilling and a fruitful journey for you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Sam. So now we will be having a talk by Dr. Hamanu regarding exploring generative AI in healthcare. He would be delivering the talk remotely. Dr. Hamanu, can you hear us?
I can hear. Can you guys see me?
Yeah.
You know, it's midnight for me. So that's one thing your young people should learn about, effort and energy. Day and night lagana padta hai sometime. And actually, they were like Hussain was saying, we have been doing, business 30 years. And I think everybody in the company is used to this working in customer time zones, putting what it takes. And that's sort of part of the soft skills that I really hope that in this boot camp you guys experience, because it's going to be project based learning, and that is something very unique skill that once you demonstrate that you can understand the needs and relate it to a problem and work together to get it done, it's very addictive for customers. So I think Hussein and all can share later on. Some of the customers are with us for 20 plus years, because day in, day out, our employee, Xavier staff just, meet their expectations, exceed their expectations. So that's sort of a little bit of a glimpse, what I hope we'll be able to do in this boot camp. And, smartness is one thing, but it's more than that, when it comes to being an IT professional. So let me try to share some things and then. So one thing, we can, of course, AI, there's a lot of things in AI, but hot topic these days you're all noticing is the generative AI. And the difference, I think, is this one word is changed. We used to have information at your fingertips. That's the life we lived for last 30, 40 years. So aapki jo generation hai, it's really talking about, intelligence at your fingertip. That's a big one slight change is completely changing, how we will work, operate, the next decade or two and beyond. So this mega trend has of course a lot of economic potential. And ये QR code मैंने डाला हुआ है. You guys can scan. इसके पीछे there are a lot of reports. And sometimes it's good to study those reports. कि why am I learning generative AI? What's the potential? What's my future career? I've just given some bullet points, but it's a mega $1 trillion industry. Even healthcare over $1 trillion in next 5 years. The big thing is the workforce. All our work will change. Whether you are a developer or a creative person or a lawyer or a doctor, about 44% of your work is going to change, and that's huge. So it becomes everybody's, point to understand the AI, what it can do, not just the programmers. By the way, programming jobs will change also. So that's a good thing to keep mind as you guys are developing your technical skills, that it will require more than just technical skills. For example, according to World Economic Forum, they come up with this every year. So उन्होंने ये नीचे point number 4 है ना कि ठीक है AI, big data, but then they start talking about analytical skills, creative skills, all of these critical thinking skills. Those are the skills which are going to be important. For me, those are the skills, you know, that are going to keep you forward and be an attractive in the market for a decade, to come. So this is a slide I just borrow from Microsoft CEO. He uses it in a lot of the conferences. So I thought what does it mean? Intelligence at your fingertips. On one side you have this natural way because we are human beings. We don't like to look at dashboards and apps, and we just like to talk. Or maybe we like to have somebody help us. So sometimes people call it AI UI. In other words, we want AI to do all the work for us, not have to fiddle through all these screens and dashboard. But on the backside, you need intelligence, a reasoning engine. On one side, you have this multimodal language, vision, speech, all of that. And then you are learning about all these networks. Chat GPT is one example, but there are many others now. And on the other side, of course, our most easy way to relate is ChatGPT. But now the trend is, of course, more towards agents. How do you create agents which do the work for you? So you don't have to really sit there typing. So these are all important changes which is going to affect all our jobs. And I think for this generation of you, it's really an amazing time. So now coming back to the boot camp, I was trying to put together a slide, what are these skills of the future? The first thing is this project-based learning, that you have to be able to, deliver something, the point number one, since you are engineers, it's nice to have an international certifications. So we are hoping, all of you will certify as Microsoft AI engineers, that you can put that logo on your, profile, on your resume, all of that, because instantly you have a certain, acceptance by the international market. Number two is, work on some generative AI project, team project. In this case, we are choosing healthcare, and I'll explain why. But it's, it has to be some industry specific. And then you have to create some kind of a working demo for somebody, a user or some industry partner. And then, what we are going to be definitely doing is get industry, experts and industry insights from industry professionals, because that there are people working in this field day in day out, some good linkages. So that's going to be one important part. And then also get mentorship from experts, generative AI experts. And Farhan and Dr. Usman, they're all connected. We have a nice community of experts, and they could give some lectures or some tips for you guys, and then you can ask questions from directly from international experts. This four is important because it is a boot camp. So there has to be a structured curriculum. That's really what Dr. Usman and team are going to help. Okay, day in, day out. You have to put in the work. It can't be some lectures and session. You have to develop certain technical superpowers also. So that's going to be the structured curriculum. And the five, which is really the key to me, is the soft skills: how to work in project teams, presentation, communication, critical thinking, creative confidence. These are all, big words, but what we are through this project-based learning, you will experience some of it, and then we'll provide some reading material, some tips along the way. It's like the word people use these days about all these skill development is thinking with your hands. You can't just listen, read a book, watch a video. You have to use your hands. So which means practically working together as a team. And for us, I think one of the skills you will learn is how to work with medical professionals, medical students. So the teams jo aap logon ki banengi na will be hybrid teams, where they bring certain skills about understanding of the problem. You bring certain skills, and together, hopefully, you satisfy some industry partner, uski demand. So we have good connections in the US. We are doing some grant research. You saw some demos, robot, वगैरह. They're all being done with experts, you know. UC Irvine के साथ काफी linkages and both digital health and nursing school, plus some other universities also. And I just wanted to give you a glimpse of few people, and some of them will be lecturing you guys also, guest lecture. One is Dr. Ramesh. You know, he's really a legend in the field of AI, and he's connected to a lot of other Stanford University and other universities, even in China, actually, quite very famous all over the world. So he loves this idea of healthcare focus, producing this talent, young talent, which is good at generative AI, knows the healthcare, and can demonstrate, you know, some real use cases, because it's just the beginning. In some ways, you know, we are in day one right now of generative AI. The future is ahead. It's just the tip of the iceberg. And of course, this morning, actually, I had a call with this gentleman, you know, Johannes. He has a whole university, you know, in Germany on lifestyle. They do PhDs and all on lifestyle medicine. He's quite interested to participate, and they have a lot of problems. They would love to see if students can do some small demo of it. You know, these are not going to be real projects, but you'll be just giving a glimpse of what's possible. So that's going to be something we're going to help you understand. It's not of completing a big project, it's just giving a glimpse of what's possible. This is another gentleman, you know, quite Dr. Khan. I was exchanging message with him. He loved to participate. He's quite a big shot in imaging, and they have done some great work with medical imaging. And in fact, I was at a conference. He was giving me a demo where on is this X-ray. Side there's a discussion. He's asking question. Okay, what does this mean? What is this? Is it something serious? And there's like a chat session going on with an X-ray, as if you are talking to a radiologist. So it's very impressive. And of course, they're raising a lot of money and funding. But he, you know, being from Pakistan, he would love to contribute. So, you know, you guys anybody may want to tackle project like that. There are a lot of other people, by the way, you know. These are all advisors, experts. With many of them, we have formal relationships. So what I've noticed is all of them like to give back or contribute to students. But you know, my main concern is you guys will have to be very serious, put in the work, and really kind of, you know, active listening, asking questions, making commitments, and delivering on those commitments. So it's going to be those kind of things that's going to be important. Otherwise, nobody wants to help, you know, anybody, unless they get the energy from the one they are giving mentorship. It's all full, energy full, and I'm sure all of you can impress any of them. So this is sort of example of student projects, you know, like I was saying. There's lifestyle medicine. There's a lot going on, by the way, because people are realizing that why are we taking all these medicine when, you know, exercise, food, a lot of habits, but there's not usually much evidence. So there's a lot of data AI going into that. Uh, of course, doctors are typically, you know, seeing patients in US, especially sometimes 20, 30 patients, and they don't want to be sit there typing all the notes. So why the conversations cannot be directly formatted to a medical approved format and put in the databases so the doctors can spend more time with patients. Um, Nursing is the same thing. You know, one of the big challenge in US is they call it nursing burden, you know, or burnout, because all the time they're filling forms and paperwork, and so there's a lot going on there. There might be opportunities to intelligently process. Of course, in the medical industry, there's always billing issues. A lot of codes get rejected and all. So AI can be good at, okay, in this conversation, based on this, these are some codes that are valid, and so your insurance can get accepted, you know, on and on. So the main thing I'm trying to say is these are experts we are working with day in, day out. So they will give us the real problems. And then the medical students will help translate. I'm sure many things I've said, many things a typical software engineer would not want to know too much about. So that's why we want to include medical students as co-team members, because they would be interested on the medical side, the AI people are interested on the AI side, and together they deliver the project. So on the supply side, we want to have this healthcare talent, certified engineers, project-based learning, solving real problems, and of course, partnerships, with South in Pakistan, US, and then guidance from healthcare professionals, AI experts. So, if you just look at the numbers, that's why, profession of software development is going to be really pretty hard for, especially for Pakistan. Because if we have to go from 2 billion to 10 billion, right now Pakistan has 600,000 engineers, software engineers. Well, we're going to need 3 million to go to that level where we need to go. That's like a huge shortage. So boot camp could be one way to, of course, it's good to have 4-year degrees and all that, but if you want to fast track, sometimes just enough knowledge to be employable, export earning job, we have to find some creative ways how to increase our numbers. So that's some discussion we are also having with UET. There may be some other nice ways to accelerate. So that's the supply side. On the demand side, we are trying to promote this whole boot camp and the work so that we can build more industry linkages. In fact, this in the middle is the event we did with Microsoft in China 2 months ago. Recently, I also made a presentation to Pakistani doctors at APNA conference in Chicago. They are very interested to support, and of course, they are the doctors, right? So they have the understanding of issues, pain points. So that's the kind of stuff on the demand side we are trying to create. This slide, I think, not necessary for you guys. Just generative AI is just an evolution of what has been happening in AI for last 60, 70 years. And sometimes that's what it takes. Long time to reach a pivot point, pivot point. And the reason we are reaching this pivot point is not because suddenly we have a better algorithm. In fact, this Jeffrey Hinton, if you look at it 20 years ago, he was talking about this thing, neural networks, all of that, and nobody was paying attention because it needs a lot of computation power. It needs a lot of cloud and all. Well, now we have that. And then, of course, how to this vision AI and all of these other things, how to understand pictures and video. So these four things sort of came together at the right time. Now we have, so it was interesting, the NVIDIA CEO was talking about how uh, AI processing, computation power in the last 10 years has gone down. The cost of processing AI models has gone down by 1 million. It's not like a chip. Chip ka tha na, there was like 18 Moore's law. Many of you may have read about it. 18-month, the chip capacity double. Here, the computation capability to process AI models, last 10 years, the cost of computation of AI model has gone down by 1 million. So people ask him what's going to happen in next year. He said it's going to go down more again, 1 million. So the question is, if whatever AI is right now, if 1 million times more next 10 years capacity capability increases in terms of cost of doing, what imagination will you be using? What kind of intelligence you'll be building? That's the opportunity in front of us. And by the way, I would encourage, and maybe we'll try to get a copy for you guys to read, Feifei Li's book. It's a life story. She came to US when she was 15. Uh, didn't speak English, had to learn English, went through high school, all of the whole thing, which happens. And I think in some ways when people, and right now she's heading Stanford, Center for AI and a very legendary person. But it's a nice reading of looking at yourself, and what it takes and how many setbacks she had, how many failures she had, how many professors, advisors told her it's the wrong thing, it's not going to go anywhere. But how her own passion led her. To me, in the end, it's boot camp is about passion. If you have a passion, everything else is possible. And so that book is, I think, a good thing to read. It's very recent, by the way, just come out 2 months ago. I read it and it was just incredible. And all the time I was thinking about our boot camps and how this can inspire many of you. So we'll get this book for you guys. So, one thing I would encourage now, a lot of people like to say, okay, I want to work on vision, or I want to work on speech, I want to learn language. The world is now at the place with multimodal. All three work together to help us understand what's going on. So when we talk about intelligence, human beings, right? We have eyes, we have ears, we listen, we talk. We don't just pick one thing, right? When you So we have to get comfortable with this multimodal thing. And nice thing is we have experts, UCI, who are creating open source tools to do all this. And I think to use that in the boot camp. One is called OpenChaw. It's culmination of 20 years of research, but the people who are building that is advisors. In fact, they are also board members in our company. So we are very close to them, and they would love to see you guys play with it and do something with it. So, the two things that you want to keep an eye on is, of course, this multimodal thing, multimodality, how to integrate these signals, together and make sense. Because remember, we are not talking about information, we are talking about intelligence. So, sometimes you have to combine things. And the other is the edge processing. It's like, how do you really put intelligence at the edge? Because that addresses a lot of the complex issues of privacy and those things. This is one thing I was talking about, OpenChair. You guys, I'm sure, you guys will go through it. How these new toolkits, APIs can really accelerate, because your focus should be, practical. How do I solve somebody's problem and make them amazingly delighted? And the learning is just all within that context. Otherwise, you could be learning for next 10 years and not make any impact, honestly. Ideally, you want to find something you can achieve in a certain time frame. So you don't want to pick a problem that at the end of the boot camp you say, well, it was an amazing big problem, I couldn't finish it. No, part of the boot camp is to manage the time, deliverables, expectations. These are the skills that are invaluable skills, lifelong skills. When you pick a problem, ideally you want to go through some process of identifying a need, understanding, of course, all the issues. Is it useful? Prioritize. And sometimes it's all these kind of things. You need to have some kind of, is the problem fit with your technical demo? Do you have data available? Is it feasible to do in a time frame? Is it value proposition? Is it value for somebody? There are sometimes ethical consideration why you can't do this project. You know how complex it is. Can it be done in a limited time? These kind of things. So you'll kind of learn some of these, learning about how to do the project, value, goals, priorities. Did it make sense so far? But the main thing is, this is the most exciting thing on the planet. In the US, whether I go to tech conferences, whether I go to healthcare conferences, the hottest topic is generative AI. And I think at this stage of your career, what's the risk of embracing something like this, which all the studies, all the reports, all the trends from all directions are talking about it? What's the harm? So I would just love to see you guys take this challenge head on and do some cool projects and have something to demonstrate at the end. Certificate is one thing, that's nice, but you want to be able to stand up and present. And maybe later on you can submit those into projects, into competitions, and maybe there are some nice, cool ideas which may get picked up, as startups, or it may help you find the right job, or maybe help you, add it to your resume when you're doing gig economy, online platforms, all that. People want to see, show me something you have done. So this is your chance to work as a team and create something that you can say, I built this. They want to see, what can you do? What are you excited about? What are you curious about? So I'm hoping those are the skills we'll introduce you guys to. Okay, Ji, anything, Hussain, Farhan, Dr. Usman, anything else you want me to add? I mean, that's the message I had.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. I know it's quite late for you already.
Yes, yes, yes. So, but I'm really very excited about this. To me, what we are doing is actually, laying the foundation, which I'm very sure is going to be the right foundation for the entire country. Because unless we create these skills, project-based learning with embedded customer, industry, and credible certification, there's no way world will pay attention. And it's just too hard. And if we do all this, it's automatic. Nobody will question. I asked some actually managing director of Deloitte, if you do this, that person the world needs. I mean, this is like a top consulting firm because there's just nothing left. You have a demonstrated international project in healthcare, you have the technical skills, you have a certification, you have the soft skills to present. Nothing is left. You are then at an international level. So that's my goal. And I think the raw talent is there, of course, I have no doubt. Otherwise, we would not do it. But you need this kind of, we're hoping this boot camp will fill those small things which complete the okay. Good luck, guys, and looking forward to staying in touch. And I may do one or two sessions also along the way. It's not like we just opening session and I'm gone. I'm available, and I think we're going to find a better way to also have very open Q&A from all of you. Just directly type. We're going to have some online tools. Anybody can ask anybody, reach out to anybody. That's the kind of environment we want to create. You know. Okay, Ji. Thank you. Bye bye. Good luck.
So we'll be starting with Dr. Ramesh. Dr. Ramesh is one of the, you can say, founding members of UCI Future Health. He completed his PhD in 1970. Yeah, so around that era, and he has been since then working in the field of multimedia computing. So he has a message for all of you guys, for students at Bootcamp. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm very happy to be sharing some of my views with you today. This is a great opportunity that we are facing. Just imagine you have a superpower in your pocket. This superpower breaks down all the language barriers and opens door to solving some of the biggest challenges that humanity has ever faced, like health, education, employment, solving social problems, and so on. This uses latest accumulated knowledge not from one place, but from every possible sources, and it keeps on updating it. Provides you insights into this knowledge. We call this Gen AI, or in particular, large language models or LLMs. Language has always been a very important thing in human civilization. Now we have vast ocean of knowledge that gives us insights to solve all kind of problems. Moreover, this knowledge can be presented to people in their local language. You can use this for agriculture or for healthcare in any part of the world. LLMs are not just about sharing information, they are about democratizing empowerment. They enable new way of solving problems. What is more interesting and important is that they empower economic development and collaboration. And this is not in distant future. This is happening today. You can start using LLMs to unlock solutions that will resonate with your country's needs. But you can also be sitting in any country and solving problems in any other part of the world. Are a path to economic empowerment and entrepreneurship. You can start thinking about spawning completely new industries to generate employment not only for yourself, but many people around you. They don't require very long specialized training. You can be trained in few months to start using these tools to start solving new kinds of problems. I have been working in AI, computer vision, multimedia, applying them to health. But my enthusiasm for technology was never as high as it has been in the last 1 year. Even I, who have been working in AI for last 50 years, could not imagine how fast the technology has developed and how powerful it has become. For example, I was always very interested in folk computing. Folk computing was my dream. Folk computing democratizes computing. It takes away from keyboard to speech interfaces to multimodal experiential interfaces. You use all the natural mechanism that you use in communication: gestures, visual expressions, speech, intonations in speech, you expect the same kind of things to come to us. Imagine what it will do for health. Health is a serious problem in every country. We are making significant progress in making folk computing a reality by LLMs now. When you start looking at the way you can solve problems in using LLMs, there are two ways of looking at the problem. One is to look at simple conversational interfaces, but the other is conversational health agents. Agents are problem solvers. They use environmental data, contextual data, they use the personal data without sharing with the knowledge source like LLMs, like OpenAI system or Google system or any other system. All your data remains your data. Agents use that data, but they also capitalize on conversational power and the general knowledge of LLMs to start solving the problem. In my own labs, we have developed this kind of agent, we call it SA. We developed an open source version of this, we call it OpenSA. We have made it available so that people can start solving these problems first for health, but then take it to other applications. OpenSA is not only about health, it can go very easily beyond health. But initially, we want to focus on health because we consider health to be one of the most important fundamental problem for all over the world. These systems allow you to solve advanced problems, but also they are deeply human centric. This is where we all come in. Whether you are in a city in United States or you are in Asia, Africa, South America, you have the opportunity to contribute to this transformation. That means you have an opportunity to solve problems both for people who were unlucky and they do not have the most modern technology. You will help them leapfrog and come become modern today. But you can also work with people who are cutting edge and solve their problems. So when we start looking at all these things, one of the things is this technology gives you tools to redefine tomorrow. We can start seeing how, even though we are at the very early stage in the development of these tools, we can start solving problems. And as time goes by, we start solving more and more challenging problems. This AI revolution is not just about inheriting a legacy of technological advancement, it is about being beacons of progress, guiding humanity towards a brighter, healthier, and more inclusive future. The tools are in your hands and the possibilities are limitless. Let's embrace this movement and with the courage to innovate, let's create the vision to transform the world. Thank you very much.
So talking about this 2023 bootcamp, we had international collaboration and guidance. So some of these people like sort of delivered a lecture now. They were part of the previous bootcamp as well. We were associated with top researchers in the medical field, AI and robotics industry, such as Dr. Ramesh, Dr. Eddie. They are all like well-known people in their respective fields. Last time we had projects on real-world use cases from the healthcare industry. Again, Evercare Group is a well-known hospital in Lahore, and they have like a hospital in 7+ countries, and like the one in Lahore is the first one in Pakistan. And we sort of had a discussion with their innovation officer, with their technology head, in order to understand what are the real problems that healthcare industry is facing in Pakistan, from operational issues to the issues faced by doctors, what are the challenges faced by patients. So that is what we understood from having discussions with them. And based on that, we sort of described around 5 to 10 themes on which the students sort of use generative AI to develop a POC or a solution for that. or like there is an option for students to get themselves Microsoft AI certified. They conduct shared game exam from AI 1 or 2, and around 50 to 60% of them were able to complete that. We ourselves working in the industry, we were acting as the mentors. We also had some international connections who also delivered lectures, who act as a like mentors for the student. Along with that, the most important skills that once you graduate from a university as an IT student, and that's missing is the soft skill and non-technical skills. So we deliver some lectures through the project process. We try to teach us a few of these like soft skills, how to, let's say, present yourself in a meeting, how to take notes, how to plan your journey as an AI engineer, project management, a lot of other things. So during this bootcamp, we have similar, all of these things would be part, but in along with these, there are some additional changes as well. So what to expect in the new bootcamp edition? So this is the first bootcamp in which there are like we have now medical students as well who would be working closely with the IT students. And like I said, if we want to solve a problem in AI, it's really important that you have the domain knowledge. And if it's like two teams working together from different domains, so obviously the outcome would be really good and a better. So domain experts such as medical students, we have US-based Pakistani doctors who would be acting as a mentors. So the medical students would also get a chance to work with them. And they are the people who have like 20, 30 years of experience and are one of the top, let's say, medical physicians in US. Talking about the content, we this time, based on the feedback we got from the students, we have now basics of language modeling and generative AI. So this as part of the course. So how the large language model came into existence, the concept of transformers, natural language processing, what is unigram, bigram, things like that. So all of that would be part. So last time we didn't also included the fine-tuning part. We were more focused on using OpenAI and things like that. Now we are focusing more on the open source model. Since there now, along with OpenAI, there are a lot of other companies who are introducing their models, which are most of them are open source. Some have the APIs as well. So how to fine tune this model, and above all, the MLOps part, how to deploy a large language model, what platform to use, how to scale. Let's say if you have let's say a large number of users. Lastly, end-to-end machine learning project development, starting from problem definition. The medical students and the IT students will collectively work to achieve this task. Data collection and preparation. AI is all about data, and the biggest challenge within AI is finding the data sources, the right data sources, so that like we even if the model is not a really complex one, but still with the power of data, a lot can be achieved. Pros domain collaboration again. When we come from an IT industry or when we come from a medical industry, we have really different ways of communication, how we talk about our stuff. This is how we are trained. So when we work with different people from different domains, we get to know a lot about them. And this is the main, one of the most important skills, which is like required by the AI engineers. And lastly, the entire life cycle of a machine learning project. So this all would be covered in this bootcamp edition. Yeah, so now Dr. Anand would be explaining the role of the medical student in the generative AI healthcare project.
Thank you very much, guys, for coming here. Um, this is especially about that how the domain knowledge will be transferred from the medical students to the technical students. So for us, the medical students will be behaving like the project managers for us. What are they will be doing? The healthcare innovation strategies. So what we need to do is to find out where the generative AI can help the field and the professional to ease it, to make it visible, and to smoothline the processes. So you will be just creating the value proposition architects, goal-oriented leaders, and the user experience dialogues. How? Let's see in the next slides. You will be the forefronts for us. You will be just meeting with the industry professionals. You will be asking them about the about their problems, about their challenges they are facing, which can be solved by the generative AI and the IT. So we know that this role is going to be challenging for you, but it's going to develop your personal skills, your soft skills, and your inter-domain collaborations. What you have to do, being the managers, you have to strategize. How you will strategize? Again, you will be meeting with the people, you will be identifying the problems, you will be accessing whole industry and finding out where the problems are and where you can approach them. You will have to define the evaluation criteria. For what? You need to know that either this problem is critical to solve or not. Either this problem is much needed or not, and where the value of this problem in the market. So you will be defining evaluation criteria, you will collect the information, and you will prioritize your problems you have gathered according to the multiple criteria. We can move forward, please. Now come to value proposition. You have already been learned that how to give the value to something in your own fields. But now there is a new thing which you're going to do is to collaborate with your experts, industrial experts, and know that what they are facing, where they want the technology to act with a priority in solving their problems. You need to clarify the purpose of these things. Like either is it needed or not? Even if it is needed, it's going to be feasible for us and it is going to be the environment friendly or not, and what is the value of it. So after going through these steps, you are going to just making an orientation around the goals and the priorities of it. So you will be actually leading our technical students in maintaining the goal orientation. What goal needs to be gained at first hand and what has the second priority and all. Then comes the user story experience. This is not the end of the story. What you have to do is to know that how the journey of this goal is going to get from the starting of the problem, identification of the problem, making the goals, and then finding the solutions. And after finding the solution, how it's going to help the professionals to go through their journey, how it's going to help them to solve their problem, and what would be the emotional integration in the solution. Okay, so I have just, for your understanding, just compiled out some of the themes which you can use around your thinking, where you will be accessing some of the problems. These are the clinical applications where the generative AI is playing its role, and we have the potential to find some of the problems and identification. For instance, the diagnostics. The diagnostic area is the most important one, which is in demand right now. Clinical decision support and monitoring, the drug discovery and the development. We have some of the pharmacists here as well. So it's for them, the healthcare simulation and the training and disease surveillance and outbreak prevention. So as Madam told us, the data in the generative AI is the crucial one. By having the data, we can mold it and we can make other model to predict the disease prevention, disease outbreaks, and the risk in the society about the multiple diseases. Healthcare, next comes the healthcare management and the optimization. So there comes the administrative things where we can work on to let the generative AI help us. For instance, the data generation. We have a lot of data about a lot of patients in our hospital. So what we are using the data for? Are we doing something with that data? Are we creating some of the predictions, some of the risks about the population? So that data can be used to augment our healthcare community and thus solving the problems in the larger scale. To remote healthcare delivery. So we know the phobia, we know the remote healthcare deliveries, we know the mobile healthcare services nowadays where these things can be used for the generative AI. and the resource optimization. Again, the data can help you to optimize the resources, how you need to allocate them, how you can use them with the most efficiency. I think that is all for it. This was just a glimpse where it can work, and now you can just think through it. How you have to give us the multiple things, the multiple domains apart from this, and finding the new problems where our technical teams and our technical students can work on with you to find the solutions for them. Thank you very much.
Now we would be moving towards the course content and evaluation criteria.
Hello everyone, myself Faisal, and I'm delighted to welcome you all on this bootcamp Generative AI. So I'll be an instructor for this course along with Dr. Kumar, People Services Department, with other respective faculty members. So we are looking forward to guiding you through an exciting journey, through an exciting, you can say, experience in the world of generative AI. So over the course of this bootcamp, we deep dive into several, you can say, very actual topics of generative AI, and here's the overview, you can say, the topics that we are going to cover in this generative today. Next, please. So we'll start with the natural language processing, and we'll actually see like how machines understand and process the human language. And we'll cover the topics in that ways, including text processing, like tokenization, scanning, feature technical tools, the techniques we use to extract the features from the given text, word embeddings, and the different neural network with LSTMs, and how much memory they can hold, and what are the drawbacks and what comes with the generative AI. Next, please. So then we'll deep dive into the open source LLMs, as Farhan mentioned earlier, like the major focus is on the open source LLMs and how we can use them via LLM APIs or even training them. We'll also learn about in-context learning, like how we can increase the performance. We can say how we can get a desired output from using the prompt engineering, which is actually context learning and the structuring of these details. Next week. Then there comes, like we are also going to use the frameworks, which which are state of the art for within the complex language models, and those are LangChain, Llama Index, and for this bootcamp, specifically focus on LangChain. So with LangChain, we understand the data loaders, tokenizers, and how we can actually create and manage complex language models, and what are the machine learning techniques that come with it. Next. Then retrieval documentation generation. It is basically like after learning the basics of LangChain, LLMs, their volumes with the evidential learn like how we can increase the performance by adding knowledge, from the external source. So retrieval documentation is basically like combines two approaches: retrieval documentation and generating approaches. And we learn about the vector database. We store our data over there and we hold them, and the model training on previous data, it will learn from our data and create the quantity we want it from them. And then, supervised fine-tuning, we have added a little data, but when it comes to fine-tuning, we are actually retraining the data with a lot of the external data. And this supervised fine-tuning, we learn the techniques and the best practices that we can actually follow to train the models with quantization. So quantization in itself is basically, with LLMs, if I need to basic background, LLMs, we train the large language model, it's very large because they need heavy margins, computation efficient systems, let's train them. But with quantization techniques, we can actually fine-tune over the system, which are not very, you can say, computationally efficient, because language models do not require tens and hundreds of GPUs, GPUs to train them actually. So we learn about techniques like LoRa, we further get into details in the upcoming lectures. When we start the bootcamp, these are the quantization techniques. So quantization, as I said again, in itself is basically like we are mapping the continuous data values into short and you can say discrete values. Next, we'll also learn about what is more about the deployment of LLM, what is open, you can say of server deployment as well, with batch development, deployment. Next. So that's also the course content. Then comes the learning outcome. Like what you have learned, like you are going to learn about traditional NLP with drawbacks, then comes the transformers, then LLMs, understanding of the environment and text vectors, all the theoretical concepts with hands-on practices with labs. Next. So now to ensure that you have good gain, comprehensive overview, and you have hands-on expertise, we have designed, you can say the evaluation criteria, which include several components. Let's drop the internship at UT for now. We start with attendance. Attendance is compulsory. You can say to share, not compulsory. Just to keep up, just to know that you keep up with the coursework. So if it's going to contribute 10% of your total grade, then the board assignments will get assigned every 2 weeks throughout the bootcamp, and it will contribute around 25% of your final grade. Then comes the project development. So as Dr. Humayun said earlier, that this bootcamp is going to be project-based learning. So you are going to develop projects along with medical, not teaming up with medical, you can say students and medical health professionals, and this is going to contribute 30% to your final grade, and then comes project deployment. Now comes the internship activity. Basically, it's like along with the classes, you come every day. You can say 5 days a week. Sit there, develop the projects. That you can actually develop the expertise along with the technical concepts and assignments to actually be ready for the industry. So this contributes 25% to your final grade, and that is all. Thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to see you all in the upcoming classes. Thank you.